Peace, everyone. I am Joy Allen of Karmic Dynasty, coming to you today from Detroit. What up, though? I'm here with the matriarchs in the room, so you may hear additional voices and input for today's movie review of They Live. I have definitely sitting with me in the camera today, Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis herself.
Greetings, peace and love.
And also joining us in the studio today is ConScienCed.
Hey, peace, family. Peace.
Been a while. I'm glad you're back. You're here with us again.
Definitely.
If you would, tell everyone who you are, where we can find you, how to contact you. Gratitude.
Yep. All right. So, Conscious of Crazy is the podcast. I started since 2016, in search of knowledge and, of course, being sparked by this film that we're about to break down today. It started my search for knowledge. And, you can find me ConScienCed, Conscious, and D21 on Instagram, and ConScienCed Kirksey on Facebook. And once again, the YouTube is Conscious of Crazy, 2 question marks, ConScience with knowledge, and why am I crazy? Mentally unsound mind, definitely ain't crazy. The world is definitely with the knowledge and, the people that bring the knowledge such as yourself. Appreciate y'all.
Couldn't hear you. You say he couldn't.
Oh, we appreciate you too. Yeah.
Gratitude. We also have Ramutef Queb with us. Peace, Ramutef. How are you?
Peace.
Look at him. He been, excuse me, y'all. He been in the back studio like, I'm coming. We all been here.
I know, right?
He been off the whole time.
I know, right? Peace, everyone. On the top of my Anouk Ramutef Queb. I'm Ramutef Queb. I am a practitioner of divinations. You can find me on Facebook as Ramutef Queb. You can find me on Instagram as Ramutef_Queb.
Gratitude. And of course, we have the Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis herself here. Detroit. They got me on Detroit.
Wow.
Vibe and energy. Hype. Joy Allen, hype y'all.
Peace and love, everybody. This is Matriarch Salima. You can find me on Facebook. I have 3 different pages. I have Universal Mind School of Evolution for homeschoolers and even parents who still have their children in school that need any type of educational, just another platform to get some knowledge for their children. You can find me on my personal page, Salima Ellis. And you can also find me in Pattern Masters, but you have to be admitted into Pattern Masters to get in there to find out what's really going on. So it's a pleasure to be here once again, and let's get to it.
Let's get to it. All right, this is what we're going to do. So whenever I'm speaking, instead of y'all watching that whole switch we were just doing, I'm going to turn off my camera so we can do it and people ain't getting dizzy in here. I am Joy Allen, Karmic Dynasty. All right, here's my info in the ticker below. That's the matriarchs. Y'all hear them? We here. All right. Man. So, what up, though? Check her out. Cherie Reed El Messiah Cole from YouTube speaking to us from Detroit. And what up, though, to you as well. Peace to the matriarch. We have Frank White 32nd. YouTube, peace. Ever since this movie came out, I've kept on my shades. Check them out. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you. And Ty, peace. I see you. Peace. Honored to be here. It's an honor to have you here. Not seen you in a while. Talk to you. I'm glad you were here. I appreciate you. Now, Sibyl Ramutef Queb, if you would unmute your mic, join us. Gratitude. Now, we know some of us that Ramutef, I've been teaching him the studio, so sometimes y'all might see some mix, but it's me and Ramutef working things out. He's still in the learning process. Real soon, he's going to be on his own, and he'll probably turn off his mic like, Joy, how do I? I'll be like, I got you.
Right.
All right, so we here. I'm going to have, now, how we came to this broadcast, I know I do this. Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis referred the movie to Karmic Dynasty. She wanted to talk on this movie. So I'm gonna let her give you more on where she came from and how she want to intro the movie and how it came about to her to bring it to Karmic Dynasty. But Joyana said, "Yeah, shoot, yeah, bring that, bring that." So I would request that all guests today take their time, speak your mind, and let's do this, as she said earlier. So Mother Matriarch Salima Ellis is right here, and she's ready to talk to y'all. Peace.
Greetings, greetings, and salutations. Okay, so this movie came up because I had previously did movie reviews with Matriarch Joy and the Young Blood MENTAAT, and some of the movies that he was referring that we should go over were out of my league of vision. I guess I should say, like, some things I will not put into my mental. I don't care how good or important the message is. If it's disturbing, I won't put it in my mental. So I put it out there. I said, why don't we have an old school and new school review so that the young brother can do, the new movies, and I don't mind reviewing old movies that delve into the reality of how we're living today. So one of my favorite movies of all time, which is a cult classic, was They Live. And even today, it still resonates. And the truth about what's really going on is happens in this movie. So when we talk about technology, the 5G and things like that, so I'm gonna jump around a little bit because that 5G has been the forefront of a lot of conversation. So, and They Live, these aliens were able to mask themselves. And one of the reasons of how they were able to mask themselves is that they had this technology. Okay. So when we speak of technology, we have to really consider our rights as the beings who rule this planet and how dangerous technology can be for us when it's used that way. So they use technology to cloak themselves from us, because you can imagine the type of war that would have broken out had we seen these beings walking among us. You know what I'm saying? You would have freaked out and went to kill it. Like, what is that right now? Like, what is that? And so one of the reasons that I bring that up is that we have 5G, we have Starlink run by Tesla, who has 5,000 satellites blocking our natural, view of this realm. That is, they're breaking natural law when they do that. That's just the best way I can tell you, is that they're breaking natural law because they want to cloak themselves. And in order to cloak themselves, they have to veil you. They have to put a veil over your eyes. So when they're using this technology, these satellites, 5G, what is this? Whatever this technology where you put it over your eyes, where it takes you
virtual
into the virtual reality. Thank you. This AI. So they're using all of this right now on us, but we don't see it that way because we're being taught, oh, this is technology and it'll help advance humankind and it'll get rid of all these problems and all of that. But that's not what's really going on. What's really going on is they're cloaking what they're doing. And we have to be able to bring that cloak down and back up and say, okay. And not only do they have the satellites, so now we're using the devices that help them to cloak themselves. We carry it around with us. So when we say at night before you go to bed, cut this off, we mean that. Cut this thing off. Don't take it with you to the bathroom. Well, you got it in the bathroom for you folks. So we have this technology where they're using portals, they're using cloaking devices, and it's happening now because if you pay attention to their media outlets, I mean, why do you need 5,000 satellites over one continent? You see what I'm saying? You have, and they're more than that. There are more continents, more satellites than that, up for sure, because that's just what Starlink put up. You have to realize you've got a satellite for the entertainment industry that's been up there. NBC, ABC, CBS. You see CNN. So when we talk of they live, we have to realize that there's this intricate pattern of putting a veil over your eyes. And the technology that's being used today is the technology that you see in the movies, the magazines, the newspapers. That's why there's no television in my house. I know whatever it is you're looking at, when you look at me on this screen, there's another message up under there. So which message are you really getting? So that was my intro for, let's start with the technology. So I'm back up. Anybody else want to jump in?
And they'll need to unmute their mics.
Oh, you need to unmute your mics.
Yeah. First time watching this film. One of my favorite artists. Like the message of the song definitely, it doesn't relate to the movie, but the video of the song was called Day and Night by Kid Cudi. And he had shades. You know what I'm saying? He took his shades off, he seen things, and then he took his shades back on. You know what I'm saying? He started, so I'm pretty sure he probably watched the film as well. But yeah, this film was heavy. Like looking at, I had to watch it probably 3 times. Like the first time, like, all right, cool, I didn't get the message. Second time, like, all right, cool, I woke it when I was awakening. So like, oh, okay, I got everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's a heavy movie, man. Definitely films like The Truman Show, crazy film too, heavy messages. But yeah, we it's a lot of camouflage. You don't know who the real people is, who you talking to, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ATLians, but yeah, this film's messaging was heavy, and definitely in a, I guess, to speed a little bit, like a gem I picked up pretty much, that fighting scene, pretty much is how the fight.
Goodness.
The fighting scene is the daily basis, is pretty much us trying to awaken our people, the people that still sleep, just wrestling, elbow dropping, constant, how many jabs he threw was crazy, haymakers, uppercuts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was amazing.
Like, what's wrong with you? Put these daggone glasses on.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, that part was deep.
Let me play a part of this.
Yeah, that was deep. And it was like watching, even though the actors or whatnot, the actors basically, one of the actors I want to say was a WWE star in a sense.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, this is like, how you say that, backyard brawl or something.
Oh yeah, they was
throwing down. They're throwing down.
Like 5-10 minutes, just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, it was.
I want to say, wasn't it like 15 minutes or something? Like a whole 15 minutes fighting.
6 minutes. It shows 6 minutes, but I'm not going to show it all. And look, for those who don't know the backstory on these two, him talking was at a work site where this guy applied to, and he was needing somewhere to stay. So this guy talking,
I'm telling you, you dumb son of a...
told him I'll find a place for you to stay. So they worked with each other. They knew they was cool.
I'm trying to save you and your family's life.
You couldn't even save your own.
I'm giving you a choice. Either put on these glasses or start eating that trash can.
Not this year.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Come on. Come on.
I don't want to fight you.
Come on.
I don't want to fight you. Stop it.
No.
Put on the glasses.
All right, so that's the gist of that. Oh, let me pause it. I had to get it off the screen because y'all know they want to flag me. But yeah, y'all have to watch the movie to see the rest.
Put on them glasses, man.
The fight scene.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sid.
Got to put on them glasses, family. You got to see, the third eye. You gotta open that third eye. Yeah, man. And I checked into it so the actual film kind of came from this book. It was written by I think Ray Nielsen. It's called 8 o'clock in the morning. So pretty much, yeah. So I looked into it. So yeah, it was so that's kind of what the script was based off. It kind of reflected what he was saying, and also like one of my favorite scenes is of course when he went to the store. Actually, like even before that, dude was looking at, hey man, what you looking at? And then he seen his face, like, he was speechless. He had nothing to say to him because he knew he wasn't human. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, they was like, we got one. They spotted us. He know who we are.
yeah, the store scene, like, yeah, he's like, hey, like, take the glasses off. She looked like a normal person, but she got formaldehyde face. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like, yeah, he could see. It was crazy. That's how it is. And to touch on it a little bit, yeah, it's like, the powers that be that, individuals that we don't know, they peep the message and sometimes they block the message, as we seen too.
I'd like to speak on that alley scene. I'd like to speak on the fight scene.
Okay. So I'm gonna pause this. We're gonna speak on the fight scene, and then we're gonna come back to this so we can see more of that before they be trying to. Y'all know how I go. All right, matriarch, let's roll. Fight scene.
The reason why I want to speak more on the fight scene, because we love to tell our people wake up, but they don't even know what that means. They don't understand the language to wake up. So one of the cloaks that they use is well-dressed, educated Black folks. And our people have a problem with celebrity in the sense that if you're not educated the way they are, if you're not educated the way your enemy is educated, if you're not dressed the way your enemy is educated, then you don't have anything to tell me because I've been educated by my enemy. So the importance of the fight scene is that Roddy Piper, he don't have on a suit. He's not behind a podium. He's not behind anything, but he has the truth. And because he doesn't look like an official, that Black man can't hear him because that white man does not represent the system through which he's been educated in. That dirty white man on the run does not represent the system through which he has been educated. So now you got this fight scene where we're basically fighting each other. We're here telling the rest of the world, wake up, wake up, wake up. You about to be eaten. But they can't hear you because my hair is not pressed and dyed. I don't have on wigs. I don't wear makeup.
Pressed,
I don't
dyed,
have on
fried,
press
laid
on
to the
nails.
side.
Right. You see, so it's hard for them to comprehend that I would have the kind of knowledge that could save your life. So that's why that fight scene is so freaking important. Our people are hypnotized by celebrity. If it glows, if it shines, and if it's polished, it's right on time. But if it looks like me, lady, what are you talking about?
And me?
Right. So that's why that fight scene is like just so important.
Exactly. The brother, he wanted Al Sharpton to speak to him. He wanted Bill Clinton to speak to him. He needed a suit and a perm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy how that works. Yeah, celebrity worship is crazy.
And right quick, that is Roddy Piper, the wrestler. WWF at the time. Was it WWF?
Yeah. Yep, WWF. Monday night. No, that wasn't Monday round. I forgot what it was.
WWF.
Yeah, I was back in the day. What was it, WWE?
Was it WWE? Yep.
Was it E at first?
No, it was F.
Debate. Google check. Google search.
WWF Wrestling Federation because I love
Federation.
Roddy Piper, Coco,
Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and Junkyard Dog,
the Ultimate Warrior,
and the British Bulldogs. Don't run it back.
So
Yeah.
I'm proud about
Yeah, they went from F to E. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. From that scene itself, like most of it was very entertaining because I can watch that over and over again. But I definitely feel what you're saying, Ahmed, on the daily struggles that we have as people. Not only the struggles that we have with them, but as well as our own. And as much as we want and try to fight, and for them to try to be like, "Hey, y'all need to wake up." Anytime they say anything about us waking up, we're just like him, literally. When they know and they're like, "Yo, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to be beside you. I want to work with you. I want to do all this good stuff with you." Who are you again? You know what I mean? And that's that whole scene leading up to the ending, and then when he actually got him to put the glasses on, that I mean, the acting to me personally, the acting was like it was good, it was mediocre, it was mediocre, but it had a lot of dramatic elements to it. Both the actors, because I'm mad as hell I can't think of the brother's name, but
Chief David.
say again.
Chief David.
Chief David. Yeah, his voice is well known.
Yeah.
And a lot of things, like people don't understand how much work this man does. He done two of my favorite animations. One was Spawn. The man is the voice of Spawn. Like, come on now. And he's the man, and he's my man from Goliath from the Gargoyles. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
So for him to be in that type of category of memories of all those things that help individual grow up, this brother been on that ticket. Because if you go from Spawn to what commercial is he doing now? I can't even think right now. I don't know. I don't watch TV, but
he was the voice in that whack Disney movie.
Mm.
He was the when the Disney finally broke down to give us a princess.
Princess and the
Frog.
Princess and the Frog.
Oh yeah, he was your boy. Yeah, he was
I didn't even have to know. I didn't even have to see the name to know that was his voice.
Who was that? What's his name, Ramotep?
And
which one?
Was it
He was
is it Baba Lau? Who's the who is in Louisiana? The voodoo. The one they don't call on. The mischievous one.
Oh, Eshu.
No, in Louisiana. Not in Orisha.
Oh, you talking about Samedi? Papa Legba or Samedi?
Yeah.
One of the two.
That's what she's talking about. In The Princess and the Frog with Princess Tiana. What's in there? Tiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness.
It's like, yo, a lot of it does make a lot of sense when it comes to at the end of the day. Like for me, my greatest example when I first heard about the movie was 2 years ago. I seen it when I was a child, but actually knowing what it was called was about 2 years ago. I was with the Hamet, Tiffany. Her name is Tiffany, and she was we was having a talk about the stars and stuff, and then she started talking about certain movies. She started talking about certain conscious groups and things of that nature. And then she was like, "Have you ever seen They Live?" And I was like, "What?" What? What's They Live? Is that a zombie movie? Is that something? She's like, no, you gotta watch it. So I forgot what we was doing. Yeah, we was looking at the Orion stars, and that's when she got the conversation. So then, as we're waiting, for the video and everything to play, she started giving me little bits and pieces, and then that's when I started breaking down the calendar. And then it took a minute to get back to the movie because I started talking about the calendar, and then people was just like, "Hold up, what?" And then she was like, "All right, let's get back to the topic." So when I started watching it, it was like watching what's that? I can't think of the movie. But later on down in life, it got me to a point where instead of using glasses, I just tell people to show me your hands. If you show me your hand, and I can tell if you're one of them creatures. You feel me? I can tell you one of them creatures.
Man, respect.
It's a lot of people.
That's
My
what I got
complexion
for
that
that
have
movie.
those.
For
It's
real.
a lot of people that's our complexion that have those hands.
Mm.
There's a lot of people with our complexions that have those hands. You might not realize it. Even I got one. Even I got one.
And that's
I,
crazy,
I,
ain't
I
it?
have a child with one of those hands, and I was looking like, okay, this is some kind of bloodline that ain't. He definitely did get this from my bloodline. So yeah, you can have people that look like us that ain't like us, and he proves it in his behavior. And when he does this, you could tell that he is not. This is not who he is.
Yeah.
Sid talking to us about that store scene.
Oh yeah, the store scene. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like yeah, he peeped at her face. Like, oh nah, wait a minute, my eyes playing tricks on you. Yeah, it was yeah, that scene definitely. And then the hidden gems on the advertisement. It's even a show called Mad Men. It kind of touches on the ad business. Pretty much in even like the color theory is amazing. Like people that's why McDonald's is the colors are yellow and red. It attracts the eye. It makes yellow and red can be associated with happy feelings or excitement. So that's why certain things are colored certain ways. And yeah, even and then we just peeped the messages, the magazines. He was the billboards, obey, conform, yeah, consume, yeah, just at the end of the day, yeah, just got to break down everything that we see. Some people don't break it down. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get it. They never will.
And I would also like to speak on that. The importance of these scenes when he's seeing in black and white is to let you know that black and white cannot be used to cloak the way that other colors can. So that we've been taught that the primary colors are yellow, red, and blue, and that they make all other colors. That's not true. That's a lie. That's how you know you've been indoctrinated, because they cannot make black and they cannot make white. And there is no such thing as the color of black or white. Those are states of being. Okay? So it's interesting that the reality was in black and white. You understand? The reality was in black and white, but the false realm was very colorful and very inviting.
Distractions.
Okay.
Distractions. Yeah, the truth is
so
right. Yeah.
We have a problem with color. You see what I'm saying? When I did my presentation on black and white are not colors, I was saying we're using something as simple and as complex as color. Okay, because color is used as a communication device.
And part 2 is coming soon.
Yes, it is. We're working on it. So color is being used as a communication device. Okay. When you're talking, you're communicating. When you're thinking, you're communicating. Okay. When you acknowledge color, that I acknowledge, we all acknowledge that this color is white. That's a form of communication, that we're all on the same realm, that we agree that this color is white, or that we all agree that this color is red, the rim around this clock. Okay. So henceforth, color becomes a communication device. Okay. So they're using the satellites to color your world. So you ever notice that we have coloring books, right? When you have coloring books, you can color it any color you want. But now all of a sudden we have color by numbers, where somebody's going to tell you how to color, what color. The number's going to tell you what color to use. So now you've got an artificial intelligence entity telling you what colors to use, how to use it, and when to use it. You're not allowed to use your own imagination or your own form of thinking, because we have to be careful with the word imagination. Imagination is based on the images that have been uploaded to your mind, either through the artificial intelligence, the AI, or through your community and your parents, your family. Okay, so that's what image means. That's what imagination means. You've been given an image. Now, what your imagination does with that image you've been given is up to you. It's up to the mind. Okay, but usually the IA is already ahead of it and it's going to tell you how to use that image, basically. So we have to be careful with these colors and how they're saying, oh, there is no primary color. There's no such thing as a primary color. Okay. And if you want to understand that, you have to understand that black and white are not colors. And that this thing that we call black is what is emitting the colors. You cannot see the colors unless this is the base of it. This black, you cannot see this white. They have to go together. See, and technology has you believing that, oh, it's all real. But even I'm aware that when I step outside, there are some things that don't make sense to my eyesight. So we have to be aware that we're being told that this color is for this color is for this. We're being given an imagery on how to see things instead of being allowed to just open up your eyes and figuring out for ourselves what we're seeing. We're already being told this is what you see. This is a wall. This is a woman. This is a man. You see? So we have to be careful when we're being educated by these beings.
Yeah.
Conscious said, what you say?
Yeah, definitely. That's why the truth is in black and white. That's why once upon a time my logo, it used to be sky blue and orange, and then I changed.
I saw that.
I changed it to black and white for a reason, not even subconsciously knowing, but and even my shirt, it's abbreviation, because I know the truth, as everybody on this live know the truth, But I break it down. It says building leadership and community knowledge. It's not what it it's not what it means to be. But yeah, the truth is always in black and white. And a gem I picked up in there, they mentioned the golden rule. Whoever has the gold, makes the rules. So whoever controls everything, they make all the rules. They create the censors. They can they create the censors. They create IG. They feel like they don't like the message someone puts up, they can shut down their account. Just because they make the rules. That's something we got to consider. That's what's going on with the TV on there. Like the reception, the connection was kept fuzzing in and out. Like, yo, they want to block the message. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely piggyback on that because, like for myself and my own truths, understanding that whoever has time controls everything. It don't matter what it is. Anything that they have is all controlled by time. The way that they put it together, not how we have done it. The way that they do it is all up and down in that movie.
Yeah,
all up and down. That's and I'm just like, whoa. Because you're right. Because those acronyms, just like with my own stuff, like coming up, I was starting to try to do something with it, but I'm still in those projects. Just understanding like things of this nature, the symbolism, the power that comes with it, what it represents to me. You know what I mean? Those things are the things that we have to literally help project into this program that we're living in today.
Yep.
We got to rewrite those codes that they're given, and then since none of us have the glasses right now, we don't have the ability to just go ahead and be like, all right, there it is right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's the distortion, I laughed at the whole thing because I was just like, like look what they're doing. It's like, in a sense, it's like you're making fun of me in front of my face in this movie. Are you serious right now?
Oh yeah.
Are you serious?
Go ahead, Sid.
Yeah, another favorite scene, of course, the bank scene. I'm all out of bubble gum. You know, playtime is over pretty much to sum it up. But yeah, I think that's what I got out of that. You know, yeah.
Salima, I know you wanted to talk about the blind man and his message.
He is one of the most important. He is the most important. Wow. Yeah. The preacher, he was the leader. And the reason why he was the leader, because even though he could not see, he knew what those things were. So Ramatef just brought up the TV scene, like, you know, they were getting headaches when they would block that frequency. Remember, they were sitting, they were watching TV, and the older Caucasian man would come up. They live, we sleep. They would come into and he would go on, but standing off to the side was the minister, saying everything that the man was saying. Why? Because the minister was the one who wrote the script. See, you got to really pay attention to that movie. When those people were sitting and watching that TV and they were trying to use their frequency to bust it up, like, we got to get these people woke. That TV is a bad bama jamma. That AI TV, whoo, it's cold. So when the man face comes in after they finally get to break their signal for a minute, and he's talking, they live, we sleep, you know, they're around us every day. But he never said specifically, but he was building up. And while he was talking and they're looking at his face on the screen, the minister is off to the side, word for word, word for word. And I often wonder, like, how would he know that? And it took me as an adult, because I saw this when I was much younger, like, because he wrote it. How would he know that as a blind person? Because we in the society have this thing where we judge people when people can't see or do or say things that other people can. Okay. But he knew what those things were. And he worked with somebody to help create those glasses, because he knew that the blind and maybe even deaf, people with sensory deprivation. So I might not be able to see, but I can understand that that's not a human. Maybe because I can hear what you can't hear, because I'm not looking at it the way you got.
That frequency.
Right. Mm-hmm. That vernacular. Remember, we said vernacular was a hell of a thing. Mm-hmm. So if I can't hear you, I can maybe see you. Okay. So people with certain disabilities might be able to recognize these alien beings.
So-called disabilities.
Goodness. Thank you.
Because the ones y'all think is normal, I will call them out real quick. They disabled.
Right. Mm. So we have people in this society who we sometimes consider weak links, or have so-called, like she said, so-called disabilities, handicaps, or differently able. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. So, but they're able to see things other people can't see. Just like women are able to see, do, feel, and hear things other creatures just can't do. Okay? So when you're dealing with somebody who can see things, like, I've met a lot of people who come across my path and be like, how do you see that? How do you break down this knowledge into this? I don't know. But on the same token, I am not able to function in the society as other women function. I'm not considered a functioning, capable person. I don't have a job. I didn't go to college. You see what I'm saying? I've never been married. So those kind of things, somebody might consider me a disabled person. But at the same token, I have the ability to see and say and do things other people can't possibly even conceive of. Okay, so we have to change what we consider a disability, because those that we consider disabled are not disabled. They are able at seeing and doing a whole lot of things we can't even, as able-bodied people, as being considered able-bodied people, How could we step and survive and walk in their shoes? So not only does this preacher have to function in this society that says you're already lacking because you can't visually see, now he knows something everybody else doesn't know because he can't see. Now, see, that's the irony. That's the irony. This man was the leader, yet he would be considered disabled among the society. Crazy. Okay? Like they said, conscious or crazy. See, he would be considered crazy. That's why the police was always rolling up on him.
Yep.
He's unarmed. He's not physically able to beat them, but he has something that terrifies the crap out of those people because he's armed with insight that other people do not have. He's armed, but not in the way that society thinks he's armed. So
Yeah.
I'm armed, but not in the way society thinks I'm armed. So when you have these beings that come after you armed, they want to stop your armory from working. This is your armory.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an armory. They come with armory. They come with their armory. See, you already got your armory. We need to put that armory to sleep. You out here using these weapons, waking up people. So we got to stop that armory. That's that pineal gland, that pituitary gland. We got to stop that. So they come armed, ready to stop you. Okay? So that man is the focal point of the movie. And I still wanted to know, like, if they could ever give me backstory, what would be the scene of his life that let him know that he was interacting with a hostile being? Something in his life.
His mental capability was on a whole different level.
Right.
They took away, how you say, one sense, and we all know the one sense is when one sense is gone, the other starting to become heightened. Right. Then it gets to the point for me personally. I personally say, I don't want nobody to take offense to it. People who are blind, they're not blind. I don't care what anybody say. They turn into, like, to me personally, they're bats. They're like house sonar. They have the sonar location going on.
Yeah.
Because if you ever notice any person who is blind, you ever notice they'll do something. If they don't have a cane or something, they'll be like,
Yep.
Or they'll just be tapping their feet. You have a whole conversation, they just woo, woo, and they can see your whole being. They'll say that they can, and then when they feel you, in my understanding, that's why I feel bad when I say this. I don't allow them to touch me for the simple fact of that you're going to do something to my energy. I just know it. Because I already know you. I see you, see me, see you. You feel me? I see it. It's not happening. You're not, like, I'll shake your hand, and if I get like that gravitation thing going on, because that's what I can feel. I can feel that whole energy thing. If I feel something sucking it, oh no, you're not touching my hand. Because that lets me know you about to put me under control.
Yeah, when I seen Stevie Wonder, when he grabbed that mic, it made people think, But yeah, they definitely they've never been blind. I don't see him as blind. I definitely see him as advanced. They've never been disabled. But yeah.
Right.
To me, disabled is if you cannot move. If you cannot move, you are disabled.
Exactly.
Hands down. That's just me personally.
Okay, y'all know how Karmic Dynasty do it. Let me give y'all an example of disabled if this applies. I don't know who this person is, so I don't know what's so-called going on, but if anyone is watching this movie and you want to tell me you don't know what movie we reviewing, disabled problems. They got blocked from Facebook. They got blocked off. They not my friend. My page is public, but I did block them. I don't have time for some type things. But let's continue. So Shay, you speaking of facts, she had a boyfriend that was blind in one eye, and she made him drive from Virginia to Tennessee. Like, you ain't blind, mofo. And he drove better than me. Hello. All right. timing is blissful and divine as always. Greetings to you as well. Facebook, share you peace, sister. All
We
right.
love you, matriarch. I love you. It's good to hear and see you. Yes. Man.
That's right on time. That's what's up.
Well, I want to speak on that in the sense that we're often talking about the third eye. So just because their physical eyes aren't working, we understand that the other eye is working. Okay, we understand that the other eye is banging, and like you said, they had echolocation because I recently watched a special about a young indigenous brother who's blind, and he plays basketball, really can make hoops. He rides a bike, and he uses echolocation like a clicking, clucking. I don't know if anybody ever saw that, but it was amazing to see this young brother doing that. And his parents were like, we were nervous about him getting out and getting around. And it would amaze the other young brothers that he was playing ball with, that this man could shoot hoops. And I mean, literally make hoops. And he was using something called echolocation, which the Baba spoke on a minute ago.
What was that called again? That movie called?
It's not a movie. It was like a special that they were doing. It was like 60 minutes or...
He was
blind, but he had the ability to play ball, make real shots. He could ride his bike.
Yeah.
Without
he could hear how far everything was away from
Yes.
him.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not
He could tell you what
they
was
like you
next
said,
to
yeah, differently able. He has the ability. So when you think of this minister in here, the stuff that he had to accomplish with his so-called lack of ability, dealing with us able people who were just as cuckoo.
If
You
not
can
more.
imagine how many years it took for him to be able just to get those glasses developed, because nobody would believe what he was saying.
Yeah, somebody said bats use echolocation, but also some dolphins use it too. Dolphins. Yeah.
People use it too. We do use it. I can hear you in the next room. I know when somebody hit my door. I don't see you, but I hear you. That's echolocation.
Sure, I use it
If
when
you
I be
bang
driving.
something and I can't hear, I feel it. I feel the vibration of the bang. That's echolocation. So we have to be careful of how we're, labeling these things. But yeah, that minister, the work he had to put in just to get that far. Just to get that far to help the people. And another issue I have with the movie is that all of the aliens were Caucasian. This is why this is important. This is why this is important. Your enemy chooses the skin it's in for a reason. None of the aliens were Aboriginal, indigenous. None of them look like us. They all wore Caucasian skin. Okay. And the reason why what I'm about to bring up is so important is because they want you to believe that there's an invasion coming. They here. They live, they here. Why do you think only Caucasians was wearing that device? Because listen, I often speak of, and I know I make a lot of people mad with this. It ain't no such thing as a race. You want to run a race, go put on your tennis shoes, listen to the whistle, go run through the ribbon first. That's a race. We're talking about different species. We're talking about different molecular structures who are dealing with each other. So another species came to this planet in the movie per se, because I'm going to go back to the movie. Another species came to this planet per se and said, oh, these are the dominant people. So we're going to cloak ourselves to look like the dominant people. You see what I'm saying? That's how deep this rabbit hole goes. You have aliens coming to a planet to mimic the dominant people. And now they're going to take over the dominant people. You see? So we have to be careful when we use these terms. Pay attention to this movie. It ain't no invasion going to happen. We have been invaded by humans, that's right, and mankind. Read your Bible. When it says the wrath of Satan is upon you, there's a part in the Bible that says what? Man is coming. Beware. Watch your house. Why would it say man is coming? Why wouldn't it say Satan is coming? Why wouldn't it say Peter Piper picked the pepper? You know, but it says man is coming. There's only one kind of man I know of, and it don't look like us. It's already here. It's already here. You're already at odds with it, in war with it. So whenever you're talking to a Caucasian, you are speaking to an alien, to a separate species. And until you understand that, you ain't nothing. I have nothing else for you.
Now, right quick, speaking of them coming here, I remembered the scene when the two men in the fight scene, they used a portal to escape the alley, and they end up in like the headquarters or whatever, underground. And this guy who they knew from above ground
was there to sell out.
Took them on a tour.
To sell out.
And they showed the transport area where they would go and come and go from here through there. Let's talk about the transport portals.
I did bring that
up.
Go
ahead, do your thing.
I'm sorry. Does anybody want to talk about the last subject I just talked about before we jump?
Oh, no. No. Definitely about to dive into this part as well.
Okay. Peace.
Well, the other day I put up a question was that, what was it? I don't know specifically.
When you on a plane you experience turbulence.
The question I asked was, when you're on a plane and you experience turbulence, are you actually going through a portal? Mm-hmm. Now, Sister Shay, the matriarch Shay, busted it up and said, yes, which I often thought, which is why I won't get on planes. I often will not get on a plane because that portal shift does something to us that's unnatural because it uses their technology.
AKA jet lag.
AKA they used your plasma while you were on the plane to go through that portal and it hurts. AKA jet lag, earaches, headaches, tiredness.
Talk about it.
Oh my goodness, I'm mad about that. Because when I took Lulu on her first plane trip to Boston, she about cried. Her ears were bothering her. I've never experienced it. So
I did when I was a kid. Coming from where was it coming from? We was coming from Spain to North Carolina or South Carolina, one and two. And I remember it specifically because we was on the plane I was saying goodbye to all my friends and all that stuff. Because, being in the military, you get a one in a lifetime chance to see people. As we're going through the edge of the Bermuda Triangle, that's where we had to go.
You hit the portal.
My ears and my teeth were hurting. And then what made it worse, I had caps in the back of my molars. So I heard the cockpit in my goddamn head. And I'm telling my mom. I'm like, my mom's just looking at me like, oh my goodness, like what's going on? She didn't know. I'm like, yo, I can hear him. I will always remember this. I can hear him. And she's just looking at me like, boy, what is wrong with you? And then I'm like, my teeth are hurting. I heard it ringing. It's like, it was bad. It was so bad.
They used you to get through that portal.
And then Shay, you said, but not if you tune into your own frequency and fly on the wings of my eye. Because I was about to say, I ain't experienced none of that.
I didn't know who my eye was until later. Yeah, how old was I?
Yeah,
I was 13. I was 13.
Yeah, she's 6.
So
that's why I definitely believe in road trips. I believe in road trips.
Yeah, I appreciate a road trip, but I definitely do more so now after this conversation.
Okay, so the first time I was on a plane, I was very disturbed. First of all, because I was from Detroit and I never seen that many white people in one section all together. And it's not, for me, it's disturbing to be closed up with Caucasians like that. It is. It really is. Don't get me wrong. I have Caucasian friends I grew up with, I went to school with. I wouldn't wish anything harmful for them. But when you're around Caucasians you don't know, especially Caucasians, it's disturbing when you see their behavior change on air, because you can get off a Greyhound bus if they start acting up the way they do. You can't get off a plane when they start that nonsense. That was one of my first fears. The second was the pain that I went through. So as a young child, like from 12 to 15, I would ride the Greyhound bus by myself if I had to, so I could go visit my mother in California. So I would leave Detroit, get on the Greyhound, and go to California. And that was like a 2.5, 3-day trip. And people would be mad at my parents, but I'm like, I'm going to go see my mother, and I'm not getting on the plane. And I meant it. It was disturbing to be in that. And I don't know how I knew I was going through a portal, but I knew they were using, and it was painful. So you have something in you called plasma. Okay. Some people consider it urine, whatever you want to call it. They use it for the Hadron Collider to make dark matter. Okay. So that's why they try to at least have one person of melanin color or anything on these flights, because they need your plasma to go through those portals. Okay. Because if you ever seen their people, they're not capable of giving up too much unless they almost live close to natural as possible. If some Caucasians live as close to natural as possible, no medications, none of this, prefabricated diet, food staple that they like to feed us, stuff like that. They might can do it, but they definitely use us to go through these portals, which is why when they go into certain places, they'll price us out. You ever notice you're priced out if you're not wealthy for certain flights and certain things? It's just for the wealthy. Okay. Why is that? But then what they'll do is they'll say, we're going to give a contest. Okay. And one winner can win. And that winner's going to be a Negro, because we need that plasma so that all these rich white, Caucasians can get to that portal. So we have to understand the sciences that's being used against us, that we don't understand that these things, because they were using a portal that only they use when they were down in that complex. But when you're up above ground level, they have to travel with us. So now we're talking about a different mode of traveling and a different mode of using us to make it happen. See, I brought up the other day, I said, we're copper people, not copper colored people. We're copper people. Copper conducts electricity, right? So now that all of these wires is gone, and this is the laptop we're on, the phone I'm on is called wireless, right? What's still conducting all of this?
We are the crystals.
So yeah, it takes time to get to be able to absorb this type of knowledge, to be able to flip it, because it takes time. You have to abstain from certain things to be able to see these things this way.
Yeah, definitely. That's why they always they cater to us to donate blood. They use money to get us to donate blood because they know how powerful our plasma is. Yeah.
And they don't even pay a lot for it. Come to find out.
Exactly.
We're giving away a lifetime of energy to these motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
Take your time,
for $25. So you can go get your fix. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, get a Happy Meal,
Get a Happy Meal for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. My apologies. My apologies.
It's definitely been Sunday.
Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Man.
It drives me crazy with that, I swear. Because I seen people. And then I didn't want to lie. I tried to, but this is how the universe does it. I tried to do it just because I did it so I can help a friend. I didn't need nothing. They needed something. So I'm like, all right, I'll help you. Since I was born in a different country, they would not let me do it. I had my ID, my social security, my registration card, birth certificate. When they see my birth certificate, no, I don't have a birth certificate. I have a certificate of birth. When they seen that, they threw me out. They was like, "Oh, we can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it." And then ever since I seen that, I said, "You know what? Don't ever go back here again. Let me find out why." And as I get older, I found out why.
Okay, so you were in a different country trying to donate blood?
No.
Here, he was born.
Since I was born in a different country, they wouldn't let me do it. And I had everything, all my credentials, but for some reason they do not recognize my certificate of birth.
Yeah, they want that birth
In
certificate.
Florida, Pennsylvania, anything that's connected, I guess what it's called, a red state. Anything that's a red state, they do not recognize my certificate of birth.
Message.
But the government does for some reason, and the only way I can get my stuff is by getting a passport. Now, if I use my passport, oh yes, sir, we're gonna find that good bang for you, my man. Like, I swear, we gotta do something.
We doing it. We doing it.
Oh, we gotta do something. We gotta help our people for real. Because
We
boy,
gonna continue. That's what we gonna do.
Yeah, he says copper is the highest conductor.
and you know it's how when it's like you be in a nice place. You be in a nice place and like say for instance you have your phone. Like I haven't had it on me the whole time. Like I just had it to the side. But if I had this in my hand the whole time we're talking, I shit you not, this whole thing will go down. You ever notice that with your own? Like how much it draws from you, and then especially if we're doing like a live or things of that nature, it draws so much. And then if you're out, but here's the cooler part though. You ever notice that it prolongs itself when you're outside with your feet on the ground and you taking the video? You ever notice that, people? I'm just saying, I don't know if anybody knows.
I'm gonna pay attention though.
Oh yeah.
Goodness.
Conductor.
Man.
I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of the day. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit.
Definitely did not know about the jet lag and the knowledge on that. That was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, and I always notice why kids always crying. Like, yo, you should take your kid on a road trip. Like, yo, he's too young to be flying. Like, yo, family time road trips. Like, what do you? I don't want to hear your baby crying. Like, come on now. Yeah, man. That's some information I did not know, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I promised Lulu I would not take her on another plane ride. I promised her that. I told her we would take the car from there. I could not manage looking at her, and I felt helpless because what can I do to help her? The gum didn't work. The earplugs finally worked, but it was uncomfortable for me. I can't stomach it. It was terrible. You was gonna say something, Matriarch?
No, actually, that was just about it. I just wanted to cover that section of how they're communicating and their form of travel.
Okay, let's talk about. That came up, but I want to go. We were talking about people who couldn't see. So let's talk about when the people in this movie could see at the end. Oh, the prostitute was doing.
Wait. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But the prostitute was doing what with who? And the people in the bar watching the sports bar, they got the TVs up above the bars. They turned and watched the person on the bar stool next to them look like what?
Look like chop suey with eyes.
So let's talk about how they could see. Like what? Oh, they cut the signal. They cut the signal so then everybody could see what the people with the glasses could see the entire time.
Basically, yeah. So the reason why that scene is important is because when you think about I can't think of the Bible's name, but the revolution will not be televised. You see what I'm saying? So everybody was watching television, but a revolution was about to take place, right? because everybody that was watching the television, when they realized what was really going, they turned away from the television. And they had to pay attention to the thing in the room. Okay, so we're going to go back to the beginning for a minute, because that the beginning of the movie locks in with the ending where everybody can see. When Roddy Piper's character is coming into town, he passes a young, I'm going to call him black for lack of a better word, on the street, who was standing on the street staring at somebody's TV through a window. And he was stuck. Like, he didn't move. He didn't blink. He didn't speak to anybody passing him by. He was stuck. Like you see that alien face on that television. So as a homeschooler, I often tell parents who say, well, I'm having difficulty this. The first thing I tell them, remove the competition out of your home. You're competing for your child's attention against the artificial intelligent being. Why are you competing with this television for your child's attention? Because first of all, you think because that TV is off, that your child's mind has stopped the connection, but your child is still connected to the artificial mechanism.
And the phones too.
And the phone. So whatever they're talking toys, whatever you want to call it, if it has a vernacular of a Caucasian, you're allowing them to become hypnotized. Okay, so you have the brother in the beginning of the movie who is hypnotized. He's hypnotized. They're using glamour. The satellite create glamour, like the Kardashians use and all of that, to give you a separate image about your reality. So that man is stuck there because the power of that glamour spell coming through that artificial mechanism called television is so powerful, he couldn't even move. And that's how our people be. They be stuck in front of that thing. They be stuck. So at the end of the movie, when that spell of glamour is broken, and people were forced to wake up. They were forced to wake up. Okay? Now you have a forced person who's woke. That is not a good place to be in, because I don't often want to be around people who are just waking up, because they need to decide whether they're going to choose awareness or craziness.
Say that
And
again.
I
Say
don't want
that
to be
again.
around the people that choose crazy over awareness.
That's deep.
Now, right quick, while y'all let that marinate. So she spoke about magic. We spoke about the Kardashians.
They use glamour. They use the same kind of glamour that these aliens are using, and they live.
So I spoke of the Kardashians and the glamour on my first speaking appearance in Detroit back in March. And so those that are unaware, I will be speaking again. I have another event this Saturday, Matriarchal Magic, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Contact me if you'd like to join us. We will be speaking more on that, as well as some of this other spell casting and magic things that you hear going on. Turn it back over. Commercials over.
So I don't know if anybody else wants to speak on that, but
definitely let's do it.
They were using very powerful technology. So they want to call what they do technology, but for us it's magic. They're using magi on us, because there's no such thing as a sea. They're using what you call, they like the Arabs took over that and tried to say that these men were the magi, but they're using magi on us. Okay. And somebody that we know through our kinfolk gave it to them to be able to use it. Because whenever you see these actors and stuff on TV and in the movies, they look great, right? Right? And then when you go to YouTube and you start seeing that these women are putting on 6 layers of makeup to look like that. Because I would go to the YouTube channel
And
like, I want to learn how to
attachments.
wear makeup like that, right? And then I would be like, okay, that's 2 coats. That's 3 coats. That's 4 coats. Okay, lady, that ain't even your face no more.
And the attachments, the lashes.
Yep. So now we're dealing with people who are willing to use glamour magic on you. and they use technology to help them with their glamour.
Props.
That's what these aliens are doing. So when that technology is cut, that technology that gives them the ability to walk among us, you're going to be faced with not just dangerous aliens, because now they know they can be seen. They become dangerous, and now you have to deal with these humans who can now see the aliens, who have a split second to decide whether they're going to stay aware that they did see what they saw and it's time to go kill whatever that is, or they're going to choose crazy and revert back to, oh, how can we cover that up? Can we use makeup to cover whatever that is up so I can tolerate looking at you again? They're going to choose consciousness, awareness, or they're going to stay crazy.
And with that being said, Conscious or Crazy is the platform. He has his own podcast. Sid, would you talk to us? Gratitude.
Yeah, man. You know,
that's a great intro, Salima.
It's kind of similar to like green screens. You know, people understand the news. Sometimes they're not at a location; they just got a background. You know, it's projected on a green screen. So, you know, makeups are similar. You know, makeup can be similar to like green screens. You know, it's all an illusion. But yeah, you know, when you know, finally when they showed, you know, the true beings, you know, their true selves, you know, people start flipping out and, you know, concluding the ending of the scenes, you know. But yeah, I feel like he might have got glamored by the individual. What I think her name was Holly or something. Haley. You got glamored by her the whole time. Like, yeah, man, you can't trust her, man. She threw you out. She threw you out the building. Yo, you almost. I'm saying she hit you with a glass first, and then she threw you out the glass. Like, yo.
And she thought she killed him.
Yeah. So she definitely used some of that on him for sure. Definitely tricked him. It's like, yeah, like, and poor Frank. And I just, you know, for the people, I don't want to spoil it, but but yeah.
Frank died because he couldn't see the
Yeah, it's definitely deep. And
go ahead, finish it. What happened?
I need to turn off the screen sometime. Definitely got to turn off the screen. Oh man,
I'm gonna tell want you to spoil it. Go ahead, you gonna finish this one?
Hey man, she snuck. You know, she got Frank out of here, man. You know.
Well, but the thing is that you have to realize is that
that was Meg Foster.
Yeah, the main character, Robbie's character, was already hypnotized too. You see, because even he knew something was wrong, but he didn't know what was wrong until he encountered the freedom fighters and found the glasses. But you have to remember that his whole life he had an AI in front of him telling him, this is the type of woman that's beautiful. This is the type of woman you can trust. This is the type of woman you should have. So if Holly already fit that image of what a woman should be for him, even though she was dangerous and a sellout, that part of his working mind was already because of her position.
Subconscious. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So that explains why he was drawn to her in the parking garage to get her to take her car.
And his name, I found out about his name. His name is actually Nada. That was his name. So, like, Nada. That was Nada. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of see why his name was Nada. Sometimes, like, yeah, he definitely didn't even know. He got tricked by her. It's like, man, double cross.
George Nada. Yeah.
That's deep.
It's even similar to iRobot too. You mentioned the robots, you know, Tesla. What he doing? It's kind of similar to that movie iRobots, and that was based on 2035, you know, in Chicago. Yeah.
Right.
I noticed. You ever notice they got a lot of stories coming out of there, like movie wise. Like a lot of destructive movies on this type of tip always is in that city.
Oh yeah.
Let's say for instance, not even just Los Angeles, in Chicago.
Chicago too.
Like for instance, what is it? Was it Divergent? Yeah, Divergent, Chicago.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Divergent is another good one.
Oh, that's a
Divergent.
conscious community all on its own. Like people don't even know that. That's them making fun of the conscious community when you really watch it from start to finish.
I read the book.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. You're supposed to read the books. Don't watch the show. Read the book.
Oh yeah, and a book I read in school, 1989. That pretty much sums up this film too. 1989. It kind of pimps you to not think for yourself. Big Brother is watching. Type vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to be wary of these devices because they're the word alone is a device. It's divisive. I mean, this language is something else. Device means to be divisive, right? But now you're holding a device in your hand, but you're being told it's technology that you need, but really it's working against you. It's divisive. You're using a divisive device, basically, to put it, to make it make sense. We don't understand until we start understanding the language. They'll be always able to slip this in up under us.
Said, you want to talk about anything else? Now y'all know what I did the who was it? I did the Ohio event recap, and I mentioned that I met Said in person, and I told him the lineup of future projects like this one. And he was like, "Oh, when you do that one, can I join the panel?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Said, you want to talk to us about what message you want to bring here today?
Outside of like creating content for the people, or
however you want to do it.
Yeah, I got ideas and plans to writing material, strictly for our people, and informative, material that could be a form of entertainment, but I'm calling it edutainment. Salute to KRS-One, heavy hip hop head over here, but yeah, it's always been higher, infinite power, healing our people. So my plans is to, uplift our people through, positive films and positive imagery. Pretty much our subconscious, repetition, symbols, and trauma. That programs our subconscious, not knowingly or knowingly. So that's pretty much the message I'm trying to convey. With the subconscious, trying to positively affect the subconscious and people that's watching, kids, and etc. Yeah.
Gratitude. Salima, you want to talk to us a little bit on something else?
Actually, I was ready to go to the homeless camp scene.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I think that's where the authorities came after they realized it was the church, and not only did they get everybody out the church, they wanted everybody out that homeless encampment. Because they realized that's where the freedom fighters were hiding.
Yeah, that church was a front. Remember, they had music playing, but there was no choir.
There was no choir, right.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why that homeless camp scene, when the police were there and they were bulldozing everything, that scene is important so that you can understand the reality of these George Floyd scenarios and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they create scenarios like that so that you can recontract with them. Because really, they're supposed to be gone. There should even be any U.S. government running right now. But they create scenarios where you feel like you need them, so you go out and recontract with them. You march. You say, we got to hold you accountable. Instead of, I'm going to hold myself accountable because I'm in a relationship with a fucker that's killing me. You see? So that homeless scene really is how they get these projects like Black Lives Matter up and running. See, they come and cause dissent. Who were those homeless people hurting? Did you see in the movie anybody that they were robbed by when somebody passed them? What were they doing? They weren't doing anything. They were unarmed. They had no ability to fight the military force that came to move them out, which is what they always do. So what happens is you have people that have been up under the system so long that have been taught the system is going to take care of you. So when the system doesn't do that, they say, well, I'm going to march and I'm going to make the system do what it said it was going to do, because the system know it ain't got no business even talking to you. And it needs you to verbally say, I want to recontract with you, but I want you to act this way. But the system never does, because it has to create a relationship of negative toxicity of push and pull. So now it has created this thing where there's always us coming to the table to make them act right. The 1964 Voters Act, Housing Act. We got all these acts for our people, and these things still don't act right. Why? Because you're creating contract with dead entities who turn you, therefore, into dead entities. Dead entities cannot take care of you. They can use you and suck you dry like Lord Voldemort in Harry Potter, floating around, living off of everybody, because he's dead. And we give it life. You give Jesus life when you believe in him. You ain't never met Jesus. Revelations 13. The line of Adam, which is the Caucasian, breathed life into the image of the first beast. Who was the first beast? Christ. You never met Christ. It says it caused all people to be killed if they did not worship the image. It never said if they did not worship Christ. It said if it did not worship the image. So you never saw this man that they call the Christ, but yet you worship its image. Who put this image in your mind, in your imagination? You see what I'm saying? Baby, you come to Pattern Masters, you better be ready to find the patterns, because I'm going to throw them at you. And I ask questions. What do ye say, Pattern Masters? I put a question out there. Okay, so now you demolish the homeless camp, and you get the homeless that still want to be part of the system. They're going to march and they're going to say, our lives matter. And they don't realize you're recreating the same contract with the beast. The beast ain't going to never change. It's going to throw you a little crumbs and say, we're going to treat you a little better. But guess what? It never changes. It hasn't changed since 1964. It ain't changed in 1974 with the riots and the divestment of Detroit. You see what I'm saying? It never changes. The beast cannot change its spots. Quit sticking your hand in its face thinking you ain't going to get bit.
Like an abusive relationship.
It's an abusive relationship, and we don't know how to get out of it. And those of us that do know how to get out of it, I'm called crazy when I won't go march with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
who is Black Lives Matter?
When we won't go back home and get beat up some more.
Right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to participate. You saw the Black people in the street. Black Caucasians are Black people.
Black eyes, broken ribs.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to be aware of the language that's being right. Victims are seeking apology from their master. See, I don't have a master because I don't need an apology from you. I don't need an apology from you. I don't need your fiat. I appreciate the fiat so I can handle some business. But really what I want is not to see no more Caucasians in my land. I don't want to see no more Caucasians on the AI. I don't want to see no more Caucasians in the classroom over our children. I don't want an apology. I don't want restitution. I want you gone. I'm willing to start over. I'm willing to be without lights and gas to never see y'all again so that my children won't have to put up with what we put up with. Okay, so that's the part that's why that homeless scene is so important. You're dealing with a military force. They're going to come to you all the time with military force. Trayvon Martin, military force. You see what I'm saying? Malice Green, military force, unarmed people. Why? because they want to incite you to recontract with them. Anytime they use military force against our people, it means it's time for a new contract. But you don't know that. You don't know that they're going to play these race baiting videos to get you to go out there and march in the streets so that you can recontract with them, because they know they got to be gone. They ain't supposed to be here. You see what I'm saying? All of this jab and stuff, it's the great restart. What did they need to do? They needed to race bait you so that they could get Black Lives Matter and all these other platforms out here to say, oh, we want to hold you accountable. I'll tell you what's accountable. Get off my land. Mm-hmm. See, and ain't been no slavery for no 400 years. We ain't enslaved. I'm free because I'm still fighting. Slaves don't fight. These people have been on our lands for over 1,000 years. They needed that time to create and construct a false reality of education, inclusion, diversity, segregation, integration, whatever you want to call it. They are the ones who created this whole paradigm. And they created the paradigm so that to give you tunnel vision, so that all you will ever do is go recontract with him, with the beast. This body and my soul have a contract. If my soul becomes ill, I break the contract with the body stops. Everything is contract. Colors contract on this realm to be seen. They contract somehow to be seen. Well, who are they contracting with? They're contracting with us. They cease to exist the minute we stop contracting with them. Mm-hmm. And until our people understand that, they will always be living the they live scenario.
Goodness. Okay, she broke that down for you. Why y'all let that marinate? I got another commercial for you. So, today we have mentioned the terms handicapped, disabled. Here goes another one. I appreciate you, Shay. You retarded. The retarded people. The handicapped people,
the
disabled people.
They smarter than us.
Oh, they harmful, all right. They hurt, all right. They smart, all right. They smarter than me. They can have it. So, back to your regularly scheduled program.
So basically, I think that's everything I could think of to cover. So if anybody else want to come off on that or have another part of the movie they think they might want to cover, I did want to cover that or a little bit more. But if anybody else want to have, cover that or, bring another topic up, we can.
Just to break down just on the glasses, why it was so important for him to, keep the box. I feel like the glasses represented the box of truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I noticed that the brother that was smoking, he said, "Oh yeah, it started World War III." It's like I peeped that. Hey, salute to my brother, Truth Sessions. Hey, the one, JF Clay, appreciate it. Yeah, man. It's heavy messages in there, and just to sum it up, really, they definitely been trying to block the signals, of our consciousness. They don't want it. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They don't want us to be free thinkers. They don't want that. They definitely don't want that. But the family's out of we out of bubble gum. That's all I got, man. We out of bubble gum.
Man.
It's way overdue.
Gumball machine empty.
Gumball machine broke. Yeah, we broke it. Nah, we done.
Broke. Demolished.
Yeah, man. Programming. We got to reprogram and just turn the TV off. The television. Yeah.
Now, Ramutef Queb, you was over there with that heat earlier. Have you cooled off? Did you drink your water? You ready to hit us with some more? Are you good? You ain't ready yet. They ain't ready for you, huh? They don't want none. They don't want none. Man, y'all on fire today. I'm over here sit back with my notes out.
Well, I love it. I love to be able to share.
I love it, though. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you said what you said, honestly. Because
I'll say which part, but yeah, all of that.
yeah. from just understanding the devastation to speaking up on that part when it comes to dealing with the ones that's always left alone. And it cracks me up. It's like, if you have people ever wonder, like, I don't know, like I do, I go out and do my little spoiler alert about myself. I go out and I just literally walk around the town. I walk around the city. I just literally just do my own little patrolling. I'll drive in certain areas, and I know I'm not. I know for a fact I'm not supposed to be there, but I just do it because I'm steady watching all this stuff. Ever since I started noticing a lot more than I've ever had, my whole surroundings. I'm talking about the whole city that I'm in. Like, I don't go to like where everybody goes. Oh, we're gonna go to the south side. We're gonna go do this, that, this. Now I'll take you there to go eat. I'll take you to get some stuff. But when it comes to being there at nighttime and being in that scene, what I notice about my town is that everybody gravitates to these certain particular areas. Cause why? What's that song? Freaks come out at night.
Hey,
Freaks come out at night.
What?
So, and that's so funny because my father used to play that shit he used to play it every Friday. That and a couple of other songs. And then as I'm thinking about it and getting older, you feel me? I started noticing it's like, to me, that's a message. I don't know about him, but I know that was a message. So what do I need to do about it? Let me go find who these freaks are.
Oh, now. What? They got freaks in Pittsburgh, Ramateur.
Oh, they got, well, there, people.
He paused.
So here, I'll say it like this, so I don't have nobody coming from. It's always something going down between the hours of 10 and 12. Always. No matter what area, but you got to go to certain ones. You got to go a little bit south, go a little bit to the woods, and you're going to see some stuff. Go to the west, go a little bit more up top of the hill. You're going to see a lot of stuff. To the north, come with camouflage. That's all I can say. When it comes to the east side, it's just be aware of the ones that drive in the cars, or the police in a sense. Just gotta be aware for them. That's it, because they're the ones on the east side specifically. They're the ones who go through the woods. They don't just stick to the city and the crowd. No. They're going to these woods and to these pathways, and they start. If you go a little bit further, you'll find out what's over there. And then it's just like a lot of the things that's going on in this planet, it's unreal, because they give us this type of knowledge, then they give us this type of scenario, then they give us this type of role playing or quest in a sense. Once you accept that quest, what's the next step? You come prepared? No. What's your go-to or your NPC? That television is going to say, oh, the weather is this. Oh, this happened in this area. This happened in this area. Oh, yeah, we have this going on. If you come to this place, yeah. Stay on that control mechanism if you want to. That's all I can say.
Goodness. Anyone else? Sure.
Yeah, I noticed also he mentioned the white lines, and that's like the most, and he said, yeah, that's the most dangerous part, to be you can't be in the middle of the road. What are you doing? And
Yes.
that's the mindset, I'm just trying to get by. I'm gonna be the middleman. It's like, nah, Frank. You know what I'm saying? There's too many Franks out here. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, but it's definitely a process, but yeah, it's a process. People got different journeys, to it, Sometimes it happens sooner for others than, me being 25, some people don't get the knowledge till 30 or later in life, you know what I'm saying? So,
Man.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So do we have any comments or feedback from in-house over here amongst the matriarchs?
Well, I would like to speak on the freaks.
She's not okay. That's all. That's all.
Man, it's just fire.
All right, it's fire. It's fire. She said.
You said it's fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Go
It's
ahead.
fire. Well, to my Ramatef Quegs, the freaks come out at night.
Yes.
We need freaks.
Play that some more.
Yeah, we need freaks. You know why they call them freaks, right? Because they wasn't like the normal people. See, I'm an anomaly. I'm abnormal. I am a freak. I am considered what's a freak. I'm not going to follow the flow of society. When you don't follow the flow of society, you're considered a freak. And what do? The freaks come out at night. So I'm going to speak on that because I'm about to go so deep, bro. Tef, you started this. I watched something not long ago about how the world is waiting for us to get it together. Okay? And the woman is the biggest freak. Okay?
Weird freak.
The woman is the biggest freak. You want to know why? Because when a man comes to a woman with certain proclivities, he's hoping she's on a telepathic frequency to help him fulfill that freak. So you got to be a freak to do that, right? Okay.
Freak.
You have to be on that frequency. So the woman is the biggest freak. Because she will either accommodate your freak or she will tell you to what? Find another woman who can.
Because you didn't know how to court her, did you?
Stop it. So,
courting versus dating series coming up soon. Commercial's over. Go ahead, Salima. My bad.
The reason why the freaks come out at night is because we need the dark. As much as we talk about what the sun does for us in the day, we need the night. The woman functions phenomenally at night in the darkness and what they call black, but that's not black. Okay?
I don't mean to interject.
Go ahead.
Has anyone, I don't know if it's just me, but has anyone noticed that a lot of the Hemets cannot sleep?
Yes. Yes.
From me catching on to it 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago.
No, we're not.
They cannot sleep. I'm sorry. Continue. I just want to.
How bad in my eyes is that confirmation?
I'm gonna choke you because you go make me go deeper. Okay,
and
so
now hold on. That means anyone who wants to see Ramutef get choked, come to the event this Saturday, Matriarchal Magic, because he will be there. And combined with the fact this is their first time meeting in person, all that energy gonna be fierce. We'll see y'all next Saturday, 4:00.
So yeah, we perform phenomenally in the dark spaces. I remember when I watched Dune that there was a false line in Dune when Paul said to the matriarch, what are those women called in Dune?
Talking about the witches?
Yeah. He told her, I want you to go to that dark place for which you cannot go. And you'll find me there looking back at you.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking lying because I'm already there. That's why I'm not sleeping, because I'm in the dark working.
Mm-hmm. Got things to do.
I got things to do. I've experienced things in the dark I cannot experience in the light.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have matriarchs who seem exhausted, it's because we are working in the dark. We working in the dark, okay? That's why your freaks come out at night. That's why men come out at night, because they know that lady about to get to work in that dark. And don't think that I'm biased enough to believe that all men come out in the dark just to do what they say they do. I'm old enough and well aware enough to know that we all come out in the dark for different things that we cannot find in the light. So, Ramutef, thank you. I have not slept. I'm up. I could go to bed at 2:00 in the morning. I still wake up at 4, and I'm not going back to sleep.
Well,
what am I doing in that time? Somebody's teaching me. Somebody's not talking to me. They're talking with me. Okay? So when people approach me and say, well, how is it you have this information? How do you have this knowledge? Where is this coming from? I'm in the dark. Can you come in the dark and get this with me?
Can I do a teaching lesson real quick? Just real quick. Just a minor, just a little minor. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. All right, so check it out. This is what I was speaking on when it comes to what's that? All right, so this is 6. All right. Now this is your clock, right? When something like, let's say for instance, hypothetically, you have what? The sun in Aquarius. Okay, cool. So sun is in Aquarius. During this time frame right here is when it gets dark. During these houses, there we go. During these houses, one of these time frames, you're falling asleep under. You just don't know which one. But if you're not falling asleep during these time frames, notice what's down there. This is hypothetically speaking. Notice what's down there. Notice these planets. So during those time frames when y'all are up at night, this is what y'all working with. Come on. I need to help myself out. From dealing with self to your home structure, who you're communicating with, how can you rebuild, the way that you do it, that's basically you doing the work, and then what you're going to do when you put it out there. Those are the hours that most people are sleeping under, or a lot of the magic happens at, especially for our people, because they're getting charged all day and night when it comes to dealing with our melanin in a sense. The more you do your things, this is for the Hermets. I got something for the suits as well. For the Hermets, as long as you're doing that work at that time, notice that you need to be not necessarily saying sleeping during the day. Those are for the ones who don't have star seeds. But the ones who have star seeds, they know how to structure everything because they do everything during that time frame. It don't take us that much to do a recharge unless we're expending ourselves mentally and physically. The more that we do that, obviously, that's when you're going to go overtime and sleep. We stop doing that. Notice how much work we can get done because they want us always outside in the daytime, right? They always want us to go out, do some dumb shit in a sense. That's how most of the time we get arrested. Now, as we're going from there for the suits, that's all also for the suits more so. We got to learn how to keep our stuff together or private. We keep our things private. That's how we, in a sense, going back into this movie, that's where our shades come on because we get to see everything. The more that you start to be up at night and sleep during the day, watch the shift that happens within your whole frequency. You're going to start resonating more on that darkness or that noon, as we call it. That's going to help focus your attention on where it is you have to go. You don't have to do it all the time. The Hermets can because they have this, they have this double ability thing that we're trying to adapt to or that we're trying to do ourselves. But if you can't do it, do that part. They have that little, that saying when it comes to business, they talk about most business owners, wake up at 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when I started looking back into what I was pointing out, I was going back into there. They always do their work at 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they going into the daytime, hold on, I gotta get my whole finger thing going. This is hard to do this. I gotta learn how to do this a lot better.
Backwards, because everything is first. Mm-hmm.
But that's the flow. That's the flow of your day. When the rest of us, most of us, we're waking up between this time right here, between these hours right here, while they're waking up right here. Now you understand why they always got an advantage.
Exactly. Yes, a lot of people say it's not enough hours in a day. It's like, nah, just wake up earlier. Yeah.
Can we go back to the ticker for truth? They said something. Darkness manifests light, so me can see what was formed in the darkness. Wu Chu brought forth the Tai Chi, the 10,000 manifesting of light. Okay. This is important. I'm going to bring up a master student that let me know that black and white weren't colors. If you go to Crumb TV and watch The Soul Decoded, and when they're talking about the Kirlian photography, and they want to know like what your soul looks like, they put the finger on the pad, and then you see the darkness around the thumbprint. You see the dark middle of the thumbprint, and then around the thumb, you see light shooting out from it. Okay, you see light shooting out from it. So that thing that the being, much respect, the being that they call black, that's not black. It's a being. It's a state of consciousness. It is aware. It's you are contracting with this being to be on this realm. So imagine this is your center. Your center is what they're saying is the color black. But that's not black. That's a being. And my being is emitting the light. Okay? How do you know? Because you can see me. Even in the dark, when we turn off the lights, can't you see each other when there's no light? You can't see this. If I cut off the light, I can't see this. I got to touch and feel around to find it, right? But we being who we are, if you cut off the light, and I mean, there's no light around, but I smile, I'm emitting a light that you can see, right? This, what they say is black, is a being that is alive. It is aware, and it emits color. They emit color. I am this being. I am emitting this color so that you can see me, so that you can communicate with me. That's why I said black and white are not colors, because colors are a form of communication. I'm using this color so that you can communicate with me. I'm using this color so I can communicate with my food or whatever I need to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm using different colors. I'm using different colors. That's why when they look at your arm, we say the blood is red, but when you look in your arm, it looks green, right? Right?
Right.
I'm emitting different colors. These colors let you know whether things are fine, good, okay, not okay. Right. Thank you, matriarch. They're living frequencies. Color is a living frequencies. That's why you have to contract with the entities that they are sorely labeling as black and white. Those are living entities that you contract with to be recognized, to be seen as a specter in this realm.
Feedback from the panel.
Yeah, conscious are crazy. Yeah. ConScienCed with that knowledge, man. You know. Yeah,
that's it for me for They Live. That's it for me for They Live.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, patriarchs. Y'all took me there. Thank you.
And yeah, once again, JF Clay, definitely have powerful podcast episodes with him. I even broke down, I broke down, BLAC, building leadership and community knowledge, MAN, men against nonsense, you know what I'm saying? That was a powerful conversation I had with him, definitely. But yeah, even dreams, I broke that down as well. Developing realities always manifest, Everything always manifests. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dream.
Ramatev? Siba? Nothing.
Nothing. No, I appreciate this time. I definitely do. Thank you for inviting me to the panel. Again, I'm gonna have to watch the rest of the movie because, like I said, I only watched half of it, and I greatly appreciate the ending because for me, spoilers don't spoil it for me because it's like you can tell me the story, but you're not telling me the message, and I appreciate that. I would greatly appreciate that.
All right. Well, that's all from the panel. Joy Allen has nothing more to say.
Definitely. Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Peace and love.
Gratitude to all of you for being here. We have much, much more to come. Speaking of black and white and colors, again, if you missed the memo, if you see this logo by Ramutef instead of this one, it's because I have went into my time, those places we just talked about. And so Karmic Dynasty, the platform will continue. When you see this logo instead of this one, that means that I have a message to share with you, and you most likely will not see me, but there will be something here that I am sharing with you. I appreciate you all being here. Oh, he is pointing to the logo.
Oh.
I appreciate you, Robert Tiff. All right. Peace to everyone.
All right. Peace,
Peace,
family.
love, and gratitude. Peace. Peace to you all.